Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Zikriyah from English Education Class B. So here I would like to present my research entitled The Effectiveness of English for Kids Application to Improve Vocabulary Mastery for Young Learners. Now I would like to present the first chapter of my research, that is the introduction. So the first part is about background. So I point out four statements here. The first one is from Richard, 2002, number 4. He states that vocabulary is one of the important elements in language acquisition, which is the basis of how well learners speak, write, listen, and read. Vocabulary plays an important role that considered the main factor in increasing the mastery of the core language skills. It is not only symbol for ideas, but also a part of how to improve language skills in the target language. Young learners are unable to express their communicative needs like ideas, emotions, desire, and thought, and understand the meaning of words due to a lack of vocabulary. Therefore, teachers are expected to provide simple English to help young learners accepting introduction to the language and mastering the vocabulary. And the next is from Reiser and Dick, 1996. They state that besides knowing children characteristics, using appropriate instructional media is one of the key principles in creating effective instruction. So teaching and learning vocabulary is challenging, especially for children. In a class where children feel boredom, the teacher must make interesting language learning with the introduction through appropriate media. In recent years, the use of media in teaching and learning process is needed to make activities more attractive and effective. The use of media in the teaching and learning process is not something new. Many teachers know that media will be helpful. In other words, teachers should provide materials through simple and fun media so that students can enjoy and stay focused on teaching and learning process. And the next is from Mustafa, 2010. He states that unlike adults who have long attention span, children only have attention span less than 15 minutes. So teaching and young learners also deal with attention span. It means that attention span is defined as the amount of time in second the child remain on task without distraction. So attention span can be seen when children pay attention to learning. It means that children is more easily to get bored and do not focus on learning. Therefore, teachers should prepare an appropriate learning media to help young learners stay focused on learning, especially in teaching vocabulary. And the last one is from Nation, 1928, number 27. He states that a good vocabulary teaching technique has the following things. The first one is it interests the learners. And the second one, it makes the learners give attention to the form meaning of use of the words. And the last one is it gives a chance of repetition. So English for Kids application is a simple and fun application that provides several features for learning vocabulary, including images, audio, and also various games. By these various features, it allows children to be more interested in learning vocabulary and can also practice vocabulary knowledge through the game provided. Teaching vocabulary to young learners can be applied with various ways. In this research, we'll focus to find out the effectiveness for English for Kids application to improve vocabulary mastery for young learners. They propose many fun ways in learning English for young learners, not only to improve vocabulary, but also to enable young learners to learn how to pronounce and spell the words through pictures, audios, and games. The second part is about problem statement. So there are three main questions that need to be considered on the effectiveness of English for Kids application to improve vocabulary mastery for young learners. The first one is the application appropriate for young learners? And then what are the effectiveness of using English for Kids application? And the last one is, does the application help young learners to improve vocabulary mastery? The next part is the objective of the research. So the purpose of this research is to determine the effectiveness of English for Kids application to improve vocabulary mastery for young learners. It also decide is the English for Kids application appropriate for young learners? What are the effectiveness of using this application, and how the application can help young learners to improve vocabulary mastery? And then the next part is the significance of the research. So this research is expected to determine the effectiveness of English for Kids application to improve vocabulary mastery for young learners. Basically, there are two kinds of research significance, namely theoretical and practical significance. The first one is theoretical significance of the theoretical significance of this research is to introduce or even to familiarize English for Kids application in language teaching for young learners. The teacher results of the research are expected to give more information to the further researchers about using English for Kids application in learning and teaching English can improve vocabulary achievement for young learners. And the second one is practically. The result of the research can be reliable reference for the English teachers or lecturers' vocabulary mastery. The result of the research will be useful to the young learners that have problems in learning vocabulary and to learn English more. And the last part is about the scope of the research. So this research is focused on the effectiveness of English for Kids application to improve vocabulary mastery for young learners. The research will treat the young learners' vocabulary mastery through the various features in application include pronouns and spelling words, through pictures, audios, and games. Furthermore, the application is suitable for language teaching for young learners as it is considered to be able to give young learners great interesting from which they can enhance their vocabulary in English. Based on that importance, the teacher should provide and develop an appropriate media in teaching vocabulary to improve vocabulary mastery for young learners. The researcher chooses the title, The Effectiveness of Using English for Kids application to improve vocabulary mastery for young learners, to make the young learners can improve vocabulary mastery as the basic learning English but in interesting way. So I think that's all my presentation of my first chapter of my research, that is the introduction. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.